Forgive yourself for not being perfect and give yourself permission to be awesome.
Welcome back to the Stanford Faster video series. I'm Dr. Emily Kraus, the director of the Stanford Faster program.
And I'm Dr. Megan Roach, the Faster lead researcher. In this video, we're gonna talk specifically about nutrition and performance. Food and fueling help optimize performance and can be fun, but we also understand that for some athletes, fueling can be complicated.
Eating disorders, disordered eating, and body image issues are common in sport, and we'll cover them more thoroughly in video 5. We'll provide resources at the end of this video so that you can learn more or reach out for help.
To start, let's build a delicious performance plate together.
Building a colorful and diverse performance plate can help you get the most out of what you eat. A complete plate has 5 important components: whole grains, protein, fruits and veggies, fats, and fluids. Whole grains enhance energy, and protein helps build and repair muscles. Fruits and vegetables are good sources of vitamins and minerals. Fat found in foods can boost immunity, while fluids like water and milk keep the body hydrated. Training volume and intensity may vary in preseason, off-season, or even day by day. Protein, fat, and carbohydrates are important components of the performance plate on every training day and every rest day. Eating enough will give your body the fuel it needs to build athletic superpowers.
It's important to think about the timing of what you eat. Breakfast helps kick off metabolism, enhances energy stores, and can even boost academic performance.
It's also important to note that fasting can be harmful for many athletes. Fasting, or voluntarily avoiding foods for extended periods of time, such as over 12 or 24 hours, can cause negative hormonal responses that may contribute to the female athlete triad or RED-S. Iron is an essential mineral in the body that is used to make hemoglobin, a protein in red blood cells that transports oxygen throughout the body. Athletes can lose iron through various bodily processes, such as sweat and menstruation. Low levels of iron may cause iron deficiency anemia, where red blood cell levels drop and the body can't transport oxygen as efficiently. Athletes with iron deficiency anemia may experience fatigue, shortness of breath, decreased performance, and even ice cravings.
Iron is primarily stored in the cells through a protein called ferritin. If you're experiencing symptoms or are concerned about your iron levels, it can be helpful to get a blood test to check the level of ferritin in your blood. We encourage athletes to have higher ferritin levels. Just because your ferritin level is reported as normal, it may still be at an abnormal range for an athlete. Studies show that low or low normal ferritin levels, even without anemia, can negatively impact performance. Remember to include iron-rich foods on your performance plate, such as beef, chicken, fortified cereals, and spinach. Before considering an iron supplement, athletes should talk with their doctor about measuring iron levels.
Now, we will welcome a professional athlete to talk about performance plates and fueling.
Hi, my name is Kate Courtney. I'm a professional mountain bike racer originally from Kentfield, California. I race mountain bikes all over the world as part of the World Cup circuit. I'm an Olympian, a world champion, and a former World Cup overall winner. The way that I like to think about nutrition is that you're running an experiment and the sample size is 1. So you're an individual, and what's going to work well for your body, what's going to make you feel good, what's going to fuel you might be very different. In fact, it definitely will be different than the next person. So for me, I think my early kind of nutritional adventure was to figure out what things I liked eating, and that made me feel really good. For me, food was fuel. That was like my mom's mantra: food is fuel. She cooked a lot. She made really healthy foods at home, and I was really encouraged to fuel what I wanted to do. And so I think I made this connection between eating well and being able to do the things I wanted to do. All of those things kind of fit into this new understanding of, reading into the science and working with professionals to manage what my body needs and how I can be the best athlete while also being a really healthy and happy human being.
What is that in your mouth right now?
A chocolate chip cookie.
Chocolate chip cookie.
So now, before every hard training ride, I have waffles, which is one of my favorite foods to begin with. And waffles, I put Greek yogurt on it, so I have a little bit of protein, fruit, and a little bit of maple syrup. And that is like the perfect fuel to go and crush that workout, and is also something that feels a little bit like a treat. So I get kind of excited to go and do my hard workout or to do my race. And I think that's really an important part of it as well, is having something that you like, that's meeting those needs, but also that you enjoy eating is going to make it a really great source of fuel. My other like comment on nutrition or the advice I give people, and this is my philosophy on everything training, honestly, is that I think people overestimate willpower and underestimate structure, where for me, just having these habits in place and knowing what I like and what I don't like and what I want to be doing and making that the easy choice. I would say my best piece of advice for young athletes is to focus on the trajectory and not the starting point. Focus on that trajectory, focus on those incremental improvements that you can make every single year, every single day in training, and you never know where you might end up.
I'm Maddie Myers. I live in Salt Lake City, Utah, and I competed for Team USA in Olympic weightlifting and also CrossFit. Approaching nutrition was always a little bit hard for me because I felt like an outlier, especially in CrossFit at the time. I felt a lot of pressure to track my food, and then I felt like, oh, maybe I'm just like not as dedicated as these other girls because I'm not weighing and measuring all of my things. The stress that I had from tracking food washed over any sort of benefit I would have ever gotten from tracking my food. I think for me, kind of shifting identity from an athlete to a more multidimensional person happened in the way that unfortunately happens for a lot of athletes, is that you get hurt and you're kind of forced to have this identity crisis, or like you have it after huge competitions. And so let me figure out like who I actually am, like on an athletic dimension, but also like what do I care about? What are my passions? Like what's my underlying personality? Like all of these attributes that I think are significantly more important. Make sure to not define yourself by just these subjective metrics. We are more than just good students and good athletes. And I think that's kind of the box that we often get put into. Like you're these two things, and these are the two things you're to do good at. And it's so much pressure. And then it also makes you feel like, am I loved for these other things that I like about myself, but nobody else ever talks about? And so making sure like you love those parts about yourself, but you also put people in your life who love those parts of you and not just love you for your results.